Mercedes Mone haters, I got something that you are absolutely going to love. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm talking about, because I talk about haters a lot on here on the channel, right? The people that I talk about on the channel, I usually am fans of, right? I feel like you have to be authentic with the people that you're talking about or the subjects that you were talking about. And I am, rightfully so, a Mercedes Mone supporter. I believe in her. I believe that she is a big star. But I'm also realistic in the sense of you have to be able to see between the lines. And her AEW run thus far has been a little shaky. And that kind of leads me to today's topic, because Mercedes Mone was sidelined for almost a year before she made her AEW debut. She was sidelined. She was hurt over in a New Japan match, ironically, against Willow Nightingale. Ironically, in a match in which she was supposed to become the New Japan Women's Champion, right? New Japan Strong Women's Champion. And so she's been sidelined. She had to have surgery. She's been on the sidelines, and people were waiting, right? They were patient. All right, when she comes back, boom, she's going to be right back into the scene. New Japan. Well, that didn't happen. She did not go back to New Japan. Then we started hearing reports. Okay, she's having talks. She's having talks with Tony Khan. He's break out that checkbook, Tony. And then things fell apart. And it's like, what are we doing, right? There was reports that she was going to be at the Blood and Guts episode in 2023 of Dynamite in her hometown of Boston, Mass. at the TD Garden. Can you imagine the pop? Then we saw her in attendance at AEW All In, AEW's biggest event to date over in the UK, over at Wembley Stadium. And it's like, okay, it's going to happen. And it didn't. Then we heard talks that she was, we heard reports that she was in talks with WWE. Oh, Sasha Banks going back to WWE. And that fizzled out. She had talks with WWE in 2022. She had talks with WWE in 2023. Finally, after wanting to be paid the big bucks by Triple H, by Nick Khan, by WWE, she decided to go back to the negotiation table, if you will, and talk with Tony Khan. Tony, what can you offer me? Now, reportedly, she wanted to be paid on the same level of a Becky Lynch. Before that, I had heard she wanted to be paid on the same level of a Charlotte Flair. That was a rumor, right? Rumors, take it for what it is. And so she goes to Tony and she goes, Tony, this is what I want. Will you match it? And they made a deal. Reportedly, she's the highest paid woman in all of pro wrestling. And if that's the case, and for her sake, I hope it is. I hope she is the highest paid female talent in all of pro wrestling. So when she gets to AEW, what has she done since then? Talk. She's done promos, right? Middle of March, she appears on the AEW Dynamite Big Business episode in Boston at the TD Garden. It was a wonderful sight. It was a great debut. But they've not been able to capitalize very well on her debut since then. We know she's going to wrestle at Double or Nothing. I, like a lot of people, thought, okay, well, they got about a month's build at the time of her debut. She'll work Dynasty, the Dynasty pay-per-view on April 21st. That'll be her in-ring debut. It'll be against someone that she can beat pretty easily, but have a good match. Get her back into ring shape. Bada boom, bada bing. We're off to the races, right? Well, no, we're not. And that leads us to today's video, okay? Now, on a recent episode of AEW Dynamite, she confirmed that she would challenge for the TBS Championship at Double or Nothing in late May over in Las Vegas. Oh. So she's going to face the winner of Willow Nightingale versus Toni Storm. Julia Hart. Willow Nightingale, Julia Hart, TBS title. The winner of their Dynasty match at Double or Nothing. We're going to have to wait another month. Yeah, we are. Because she responded to a fan on Twitter. On freaking Twitter to let this person and the world know, do not expect me to wrestle before Double or Nothing. So when I see this tweet, which I covered on Wrestling News Co., it made me do a double take, because it's like, wait a minute, you have one of your biggest signings to date, one of your biggest stars in their contract, and you are continuously waiting and waiting and waiting to get her back into the ring. Now warm-up match, nothing. Okay, fine. You really want to wait till Double or Nothing. You want to get those extra pay-per-view buys, something that you could have done at Dynasty. Okay, think about this. They're making a few different mistakes here. One, you are leaving money on the table. You could have Dynasty, which is a newer pay-per-view event, which needs help, okay, to the point where they are doing the all-in footage reveal on Dynamite in order to get buzz for FTR and Young Bucks at Dynasty, okay? You're going to that low to drum up interest in Dynasty, yet you will not book Mercedes Mone in a freaking squash match and still double dip with Double or Nothing and get the title match out of Mone against Hart. Let's be real. There's a mistake. She also had to confirm to another fan that she was actually going to be appearing on Dynamite this week. So we have to hear from Mone on social media that, yes, I will be on AEW's flagship weekly television show. Oh, and by the way, I'm not wrestling before Double or Nothing. What are we doing, right? As a Mercedes Mone fan, as Mercedes Mone supporter, we are relying on Mone to tweet this stuff out. Why is this woman not making this known in promos? Why is this woman not being booked to let the fans know exactly what's going on? Why is Tony Khan not taking it to the commentators and going, you need to hammer this home? Whatever the date of AEW Double or Nothing is. Was it May 26th, right? I'm so fired up, I'm freaking stuttering. Why are we not doing this on a larger scale to get a larger message to a larger fan base? The importance of this kind of stuff. This is one of the reasons why AEW is struggling to sell tickets to their live events, because people, when they see AEW's coming to my town, who's going to be there? We don't know for sure. There's a bunch of people in the poster. They may or may not be there. Well, I don't know if I'm going to buy a ticket then. When you buy a ticket to a WWE show, 9 times out of 10, the person that is on the promotional material, on the poster, on the description, on the advertising, show up. The only reason that they do not show up is because of something out of their control. In AEW, it is that, and oh, by the way, if Tony Khan wants to book them in something on the show. That is a mistake. A huge freaking mistake. And AEW has got to do better